Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for the Deluxe Gaisoulken from... Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for the Deluxe Gaisoulken from Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger. This is obviously, as you can see, Gaisourg's weapon, and it's obviously a repaint. It's actually really cool that we got this retail. Like, when it was first shown in the early teases, a lot of us assumed it would be an exclusive, so I'm very, very happy it's not, because I think it's super cool, both in design and the sounds and stuff, and just in concept, and I like that they kind of released it almost like a 6th, 7th Ranger type of item, and it's kind of easy since it's a repaint, but we'll get into that in a second. I just wanted to show off the box because I think it looks cool. You know, it shows you what you get in there, which is obviously the sword, his own soul for, like, literally ripped his soul out and it's right there, but to transform, and then you get the Kishiryu soul as well, and then it shows you what you get there. A really cool shot of his armor helmet there. That was a weird way of saying armor helmet. And then on the back it just kind of shows off what it can do, a couple more cool promo shots, and it shows off like, hey, you can use this with all the other Ryusouls. I'll explain how that's going to work here in a minute. And then on the bottom you just get a really cool shot of all the Ryusoulgers with Gaisourg. Alright, let's go ahead and actually bring the main event in. Here we have it. Like I said, you can see it's just clearly a repaint, but I think it's pretty cool. I'm kind of a sucker for this color scheme ever since like Korag and Wolzard and stuff like that. But I think it looks really awesome. It makes me want even more so a more 1-to-1 scale prop with the actual proper size sword. But even still, I think it looks cool on the shelf with the other one. I just really do dig the design of it, even if it's still got that short blade bit. But it's basically the same core sculpt. There's really there's no differences in the sculpt to it. So it's the same toy in that regard. In fact, let's go ahead and just compare them side by side. That's on spoiler alert, but you can see them directly next to each other. You can see some of the differences in the color, which is obviously the primary difference. There's also some differences in the way they work in terms of the mechanism, which we'll be getting to in a second. And then like this has the whole bit with the eye, like it's red right now, but when you open it up, you can see the eye design. But this just has straight up black eyes all the way through because, you know, it's an empty, soulless void. So that's kind of a nice touch and it looks pretty cool. So that's a difference too in the design and stuff like that. But they're the same core mold, just some actual differences in the mechanism, which is kind of cool. And we'll get to that more here in a second. I'm going to go over the core sounds for this and then show what the souls do in the other devices. And then I'll do a couple sound examples. And after I do like the verdict, then like in the second part of the video, will be the demo for most of the other Ryusouls in this, for those that aren't really interested in seeing me go over like 20 souls before I give you a verdict. But let's go ahead and check out the core sounds. You turn it on like normal, and it says its name as per usual. You get that really cool slashing and like void sounding noise, and it's like the same if you open that up. And also, there is a difference in the mold too. I forgot to mention that this kind of has more of a wave look, whereas the other one's teeth, which is kind of cool. But I really like this sound. It's the sound that was made when he first appeared to the Ryusoulgers for the first time in the main show when he was slashing. And I kept wondering, like, is that meant to be like a score effect? But no, it's pretty cool and I dig it a lot. But let's go ahead and pull in the regular souls here. So we have his normal standard one, which is pretty much what you'd expect. A black and purple one, which I think looks pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty par for the course, but I like that there's a little more detail sort of separating it, and I think it looks pretty neat. And you have his own like knight symbol there, which is really neat as well. And then on this side, it kind of just looks like a negative regular Ryusoul, so that's cool. Let's go ahead and do the noises though. And as you can see, it's going to work differently. You'll be able to tell that almost right away. So as you can see, it works differently. It starts the jingle before you even close it, and it actually acts as his henshin device, which it was rumored that originally the Ryusoulken was meant to be the henshin device, but they decided later on to do the wrist changers as well to sort of get things from all avenues of what people liked. So there you have the attack noise. You can get that here as well. By pressing the button. And then it doesn't have, so you can see it doesn't have that gimmick. where it has multiple chomps, which I actually really appreciate. I'm gonna be honest. Like, when I was first thinking about this thing, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get it, but the review's gonna be a pain because of how many times I was gonna have to chomp this for all the different ones. And I do conceptually like that idea. I think it's kind of clever, but it's also kind of impractical. But I think it's kind of clever, but it does get kind of old, and I like that this is a little bit more simplistic and a little mitt. Is it a little mitt? Let me put it, is this like a mitten? It's a little more straight and to the point in terms of, like, the villain, which is kind of makes sense to me. Anyway, but I just thought that was neat, and I kind of appreciate that just as a reviewer. Oh, also on the other side here, you do get this like gray helmet for the Ryusoulger, or for Kishiryu and stuff like that, which I appreciate that it's not just another random Ryusoul. I like that it's actually Gaisourg's. I wish it was full on painted. I think that would make it even more cool. Like, you were so close. You were this close to greatness. Alright, then we have the Kishiryu Soul, which is actually kind of neat, like an idea. Like, I love this here. Looks like Gabutira. I think that's awesome. Low-key, it kind of makes me want one for all the Kishiryu mecha, even though I kind of hate myself for saying that. But I wish this side was a little more exciting. Like, you have the symbol here and stuff like that, but this is so blank. Like, could they have not done a little something? That would have been so nice. Again, this close to greatness, you know? Love that music. It's really cool. Super menacing. Not ultra. And it'll keep going with that music, and it adds a new bit. And then you can do this for the attack noise. And get it again with this. So those are the sounds you get for that. Now I'm going to show two examples, of different Ryusouls for this, just to show you how they work. Actually, three examples. I'm going to show you two regular Ryusouls. So this is Red's, obviously. Wow, way to show me at wow. Can't believe you. That's almost like a peek into what it would have been like if they changed with this. So that's what happens there, and then you can activate it again. Now, I wanted to show you two different Ryusouls. You're going to be hearing Ryusouls being thrown in the background a lot in this review, because there's actually two different sounds that some of them have. So green is the other variant, at least I believe he is. What the hell? So as you can hear, there's an excited variant and a non-excited variant, depending on which Ryusoul of the core rangers you put in. Okay, now for the last example I wanted to show, just so you get the general idea, in case you're not interested in seeing all of them, is just a standard regular Ryusoul. So that just does attack noises that you can repeat like that. So the other ones give you multiple different sounds, and this one's just basically the one and done, but that's how that works for that. Let's go ahead now and quickly show off what these guys do in the other transformation devices. Okay, let's start with this guy. So as you can see, it's just a standard Ryusoul noise, which is kind of disappointing. This one actually reads it though. So that's actually pretty neat. I really like that one actually, and I like that it's something different. It's kind of disappointing that the other one's just a standard Ryusoul, but it's cool that this actually does something. All right. I feel like this is the first time this thing has said a unique phrase in exactly 15 years. Okay, that is it for the core review. Now I'll give my recommendation before we get on to the other sounds, but overall, I really like this thing a lot. It's a little bit like a slightly toned down version of the regular one because you get a little bit less sounds, but I kind of appreciate the simplicity of it. I like not having to use the Champa Champa gimmick. It's kind of less annoying to me. I love the way it looks. I really do like the sounds. I like a lot of the jingles, especially with the way it escalates when you go from one mode to the next into like evolving the jingle into a slightly different one, which I think is super cool. But I like the sounds. I like that it pretty much works with everything. I think it's got a cool design, and I'm really glad this made it to retail. I mean, if it would have been an exclusive, I would have got it anyway, but still, I like that it's easier. So I think if you're a fan of the original, I think you'll like this one, and I think if you're a fan of Gaisourg, then you'll like this one. And I could definitely recommend it. I dig it quite a bit. But now, for those of you that are interested, I'm going to do a demo with all the Ryusouls I have, so let's go ahead and get started with that. It's going to kind of be in a random order because I have them in two piles. I'm going to do the Ryusoul, the Ryusoulger ones, and the Mecha, and then the ability souls. Okay, we're going to start here with golds. We'll do the same in there. Okay, now on to pink. Black. Blue. Whoops, blue but the right way. Moving on to some mecha guys, let's start with Kishiryu Jin. Now Cosmo. That was not Cosmo. I got it mixed up. Shadow Raptor. It makes sense for Shine. Now for actual Cosmo. Not Wanda. Pakigaru. Okay, now we're going to move on to the ability souls. And those are pretty much the only sounds they have. You can activate them like that. Or by pressing this again. So it's only one and done for those, basically. And we're ending on the you float too soul, so you'll float too. So that is pretty much it. Like I said before, I really do appreciate that they have reads for almost all of them in a unique fashion, which is kind of neat. But yeah, that's about it. I've already given the verdict. Thanks for those of you that stuck around. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can get notifications for my videos. Till next time, Dawesome Rider, signing out.